So I'm just hanging out at a really cool beach, and it's not the normal beaches that I go to, but it's really, really nice. And the reason I'm here is because the beach that I normally go to and surf at is actually closed. It's been closed for 5 days, maybe 6 days, I want to say, because of tides. We've got king tides lately, and they were so high they actually damaged the road getting into the beach. So yeah, it's been closed for a while, and honestly I was expecting it to be closed for months, and I was starting to come up with a plan of maybe just leaving this area and going to travel and explore a bit more. But I just got word today that the beach is open this afternoon, so I'm really excited. I was preparing for the worst. I was preparing not to be able to surf much at all. I did get a surf in this weekend at a different beach, but it's just so hard. Most beaches don't have really good access for me to get into the water, but the beach that I go to has special equipment and people just know how to get me in, and so I'm really excited this beach is open. But I have to do a little bit of preparation to hopefully get in the water tomorrow or the next day. So this is my surfboard. It's up on my bed, and after I surfed on the weekend, I actually noticed there was a really small crack on the bottom of my board, and that lets water in, and you have to be on top of those to repair them and make sure you're not, damaging your board further. And so it has been draining out, just all the water has been dripping out of the bottom. It's completely dry now, so I wasn't really in a hurry to try to get a repair done on it, because I thought the beach I normally surf at would be closed for several weeks, but now that I know it's open, I gotta figure out a way to repair this. So thankfully it's just a tiny little crack, and I can repair it myself. I've got just like a tube of epoxy that you put over top that crack, and then it hardens and should seal it right up. Problem is, I can't actually move this board of mine very easily. It's over 8.5 feet long, and I usually just have friends or whoever I'm surfing with bring it out of my van, and it has to cure in the sun. So you actually apply the epoxy in the shade, and then it has to be out in the sun. So I do have to get it out of my van to cure it properly and to do the proper repair. I wasn't really worried about getting this repair fixed, but now that the beach is opened, I want to be able to surf tomorrow potentially if the waves are good. So I want to get this all done on my own today, and I think I have a plan that I can do. Apply the epoxy up on my bed where the board is, and then using the picnic tables, if I back my van up to the picnic table, I can slide the board out the back of the van and kind of rest it on the picnic table so it's getting that sunlight to cure it. All right, so here's my plan. My plan is to flip my van around and back it up close to these picnic tables. So out of the back of my van, I can just slide the board out, and the nose can kind of rest on the picnic table, and that way I don't have to fully remove the board, but it's still gonna get some beautiful sunshine. Yeah, so this is gonna be time consuming because I gotta get on my lift in the van, transfer into the driver's seat, turn around, get out, open my back doors so I can back up even closer to the picnic table, and then get in and back it up those extra 2 feet. So this could be a process, but it's fun to see if I have a plan that works out. vehicle is set up now. I just gotta get on top of the bed, and that's where I'll do the repair. And I think I'm gonna grab my tools, which are right here, just in case I have to take the backrest off. It might slide around a little easier upside down without that backrest on. So the key is to be prepared and take those tools up with me just in case, so I don't get up there and figure, oh, I need the tools, I gotta come back down and get them. I always try to think a couple steps ahead. I don't know if it's metric or imperial, so I'll just grab both. Alright, just gotta take the elevator up now. I really need elevator music, like, so that's Jeopardy. I don't know if you caught my video a few weeks ago, but I accidentally set off bear spray in my van, and it was all over this wall and the ceiling. And every now and then when I go up my elevator, I get like a whiff of it. Even though I've cleaned it and aired it out as much as possible, I still will like cough a little bit and feel it a little bit. So yeah, hopefully that goes away soon, but it's really not that bad. So this is my surfboard, and on the bottom, kind of just under here, I put this piece of tape to know where it was. There's a little crack, so I need to flip it over, but I just realized if I do flip it over up here, I'm gonna get sand all over my bed. It's like in the seat here. So I'm gonna maybe try to flip it over outside and get the worst of the sand off. I didn't think that one through. I didn't plan for that. I think maybe if I just take this backrest off, then I can slide it and empty the sand off of it kind of outside. I should be able to maneuver it a lot better without that backrest on. I have to turn it upside down anyways to do the repair, and so it'd be a lot easier without that on. Right, that is off. Put it down on my wheelchair. Now I just gotta flip it upside down so I can work on the bottom and bring it back in. Just gonna try and get some of the sand off so it's not all over my bed. All right, I got it in here, and right here, just that tiny little crack. Like, it's smaller than a thumbnail, but I marked it with tape. Yeah, that was leaking water out of it, so thankfully it's an easy repair. I'm just gonna scuff the area up a little bit with sandpaper, that way it sticks a bit better with the epoxy. But it's so small, this is actually gonna be like the easiest repair ever. Alright, so this is what I'm using, something called solar rays, and yeah, it kind of looks like, I don't know, goop, whatever. You put it on there in the shade, and then I won't even have to slide it out very far to get some UV rays on it, and that's what's gonna make it harden and cure. And you don't need much, just like a tiny thin little layer right over that opening is all I really need. Now I just gotta slide that into the sun and it'll harden up. because it's such a small repair and so thin, like it's only going to take a few minutes for that to get all nice and tacky and hard, and then I'll be able to sand it down and make it nice and smooth. I ended up getting it further out just so it gets that direct beam of sunlight, and it's been out there for a good 10 minutes. It doesn't take long. I'm sure it's hardened by now, and I'm going to bring it in and sand it. Oh yeah, it's nice and hard. Just gotta sand it down a little bit and make it a little bit smoother. Alright, good enough. I'm just gonna watch it next time I surf and make sure that water isn't leaking out of it afterwards, but yeah, pretty happy to have done that all on my own. You can see repair that's been done before on this board. Definitely could have spent more time sanding it down, but it's a little globby, but it holds. No water's getting in that. Just gonna make sure there's no sand on my comforter. Alright, job is all done. It took about an hour, including the curing time and moving my vehicle, so I definitely could have asked some stranger to pull my surfboard out into the sun, but honestly I like trying to figure out if I can do things on my own, even if it takes a bit more time, and now I know if I ever have to do this in the future again, I have a good system. A friend of mine just randomly messaged me, and he's actually camping not even 5 minutes away from me, so I'm gonna go camp there for the night. I'll go grab some firewood, grab a shower at the campground, and I think we're just gonna make some supper and sit around the campfire. So yeah, that worked out perfectly. What a good way to end the day today. So I'm camping with a friend tonight. We have this beautiful oceanfront campsite. It's the specific site. You need a disability to be able to book it. You can see it's got the accessible paint here, but I'll show you what their idea of an accessible campsite is. So the parking spot is paved, but the pavement ends in the parking spot, and there's a little bit of sand to get to the picnic table, and then a whole lot of sand to get to the fire pit. Luckily I had my access tracks and some ramps to load my bike, so we should be able to get to the fire pit, but it took a little bit of effort to set that up, and it's still kind of sketchy, but we have all this firewood. We're definitely going to use that fire pit, so we found a way.
I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river in my soul. I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river in my soul. I got joy like a fountain, I got joy like a fountain, I got joy like a fountain in my soul. I got joy like a fountain, I got joy like a fountain, I got joy like a fountain in my soul. Yeah. Singing on low, low, low.
If you've been around my channel for a while, you know that I usually try to end my videos with a nice positive message and put like a nice little bow on the end of the video, but The truth is, there isn't a positive, nice message to put after yesterday. The truth is, I was tired yesterday just from doing the surfboard and having a shower and sitting by the campfire, and that's because there were so many extra steps that I needed to take, such as moving my vehicle to turn it around, getting up on the bed, putting access tracks on the sand and making a pathway just to get to the fire pit. And those are things that, people probably don't see, and I'm trying to just, show the realities on my YouTube channel. There is no positive spin that I can make out of this, or a nice little bow I can tie on this video, because it is what it is. The fact is, doing simple things takes a lot more time and a lot more energy for somebody like me. And I have to accept that, and I have. The way I deal with that is by doing fun activities. So that's what I'm gonna do this weekend. Today I'm gonna take my surfboard out, now that it's fixed, go get some little baby waves, that's all there are today. And yeah, try not to think about all the extra effort that it's gonna take just to get into my wetsuit and out on the water. Anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hype, like, subscribe, and keep it real, everyone.
Fire inside. Watch me reach like the sun from the sky.